At SEC Media Days in Nashville, Georgia coach Kirby Smart began by issuing a challenge to reporters in the room. Would anyone be able to get more than 3 sentences out of tight end Brock Bowers? Because even Smart and Georgia have some trouble with that sometimes. The John Mackey Award winner and All-American is notoriously quiet and also notoriously talented. I'm not sure if the bar can get any higher for Bowers than it has been the past few years, but Bowers has a different kind of goal he's working toward this season.
One of the things I'm trying to do better at is be a better leader, because now I'm the old guy in the room somehow, and I felt like time flew by, and I feel like just yesterday I was sitting in the same seat as those freshmen, and it's a little nerve-wracking, but for those guys, and I'm just trying to help them the best I can and lead by example, and I guess just maybe try to be a better vocal leader and say something when something needs to be said. We always want to be on the hunt and never be hunted, but also, like I said, better never rest. So just got to keep getting better every day, because if we're not getting better, we're getting worse, and everyone's trying to catch up to us. So
Brock is unique. He's easily the quietest, hardest worker I've ever been around. And it's such a joy to bring him today, because see him squirm on that plane and be uncomfortable and think about having to talk to you guys. I'm so excited to see his growth he gets from visiting with you guys and getting to enjoy it.
Gabe, it's not every time at SEC Media Days that a tight end is fielding Heisman questions, but Brock Bowers is just that good and that talented. How high is the bar for him at Georgia this season?
It might be impossibly high, right? I mean, this guy is, Jake Butt was talking on a Saturday Down South the other day, and he said this guy's the most complete tight end prospect ever. And you look at it, he does everything. He's so much more than just a tight end. I know we get accustomed to saying that, but I mean, the well-roundedness, everything he's able to do for this team. I mean, it really is unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent, and look, we don't often talk tight ends and Heisman, but if there's a guy that deserves to be, you mentioned, as far as that trophy goes, it would be this one.
How pivotal do you see him being for this Georgia team this season? I mean, he's already a guy who's broken the receiving record for touchdowns in a season with 13 for any pass catcher, not just a tight end. So he's been pivotal his whole career, but how big do you think he could be for Georgia this year?
Well, he's going to be really important because you're breaking in a new quarterback too, right? And it's really unbelievable to think this is his 3rd year. It feels like just yesterday he was the freshman that burst onto the scene, and it's like this guy's only a freshman. He looks like he could be playing in the NFL today. So now he's a veteran leader, more of a lead by example than
he is a quieter guy, but he wants to break into that more.
Yeah, exactly. And, he entertained us today. He didn't say too much, and Kirby's made jokes about how he doesn't talk very much, but that's okay, because he lets the play do the talking for him, and he's going to be a huge piece of this thing. And if Georgia's going to three-peat, again, he's going to be a big reason why.
One thing that Kirby Smart talked about today with Brock Bowers, which I thought this was so funny, he told a story about how the other tight ends wanted to beat Brock Bowers in this certain drill to the point where they were all staggering and taking time off so they would get a rest, which is obviously normally not allowed. Brock Bowers is doing this drill all the way through, and he won every single time. Just how dominant is he?
Yeah, exactly. And to get to really the point that he's at, you have to be an uber competitive person. You have to just have a lot of talent, but you also have to have it mentally. And this guy is a really, really special, just as a competitor, as an athlete. Kirby said he's the quietest, hardest working player I've been around. And think about the guys that Kirby has. This is not just some random coach saying it. This is a guy who's been at Alabama and Georgia now for so long and been around some really incredible, pro level players. So again, there's certainly a case if you run through everyone. Caleb Williams, go through the list of everyone in the country. There's a case that Brock Bowers is the most talented player in the country, and that's a testament to just how special he is. What
was it like for you talking to Brock Bowers today at Media Days? Because if we've both been around Brock Bowers, he's a quieter guy, not at all because he's being rude. He's the nicest guy. He just sometimes says, I just don't feel the biggest need to talk. What was it like being around him and interviewing him today?
It's funny to see people kind of prodding, trying to get him to say a little bit more, asking him. Somebody asked him if he thought that he was the best tight end in the country, and he said, that's not for me to say. which is true, and he had nothing else to add to that. So, it was fun. He did entertain, even though he didn't really say much. He did entertain, and he did answer questions, with some effort.
He was a good sport. He was
a great sport, and that's part of his charm too. These big guys that wind up becoming stars that we see in the NFL. I mean, their personalities are often a piece of it. And his personality is unique in that he's not going to be a flashy type, especially in an era where you've got guys like Gronk and Kelsey who have kind of made tight end like the cool, fun position. I don't know that you're going to see Bowers doing any of that, down the road.
Gabe, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you continue to follow along as we cover SEC Media Days here in Nashville.